This is no time for self-doubt. Or is it? Action.
You guys redirect your rage at a real problem, like capitalism?
The Democratic Party is in crisis right now. Trump is going to devour every one of these candidates.
You're an idiot. Maybe.
No, say it isn't so, Carlos. Don't ruin my belief in you. You are a strong comrade. Don't tell me you're actually a super rich elitist living in a multi-$1,000 a month apartment funded by millionaire parents. No, Carlos. How could you do this? How could you have lied to me? You are my hero. You took down Steven Crowder. You've cost the entire YouTube creatosphere many thousands of dollars with your whinging on about not being able to take a joke. And now this, you've been lying the whole time? I can't believe it. That's right, everybody. It would appear that according to journalist John Levine, YouTube socialist Mr. Carlos slams the wealthy, but lived in luxury. What a surprise. Now, it has been brought to my attention that Twitter is taking down anybody who reports on the rich little superstar, posting pictures of his super expensive, lavish living conditions. It would sure be a shame if you left a like and comment on this video and shared it everywhere. Let's remind Twitter about the Streisand effect. That's right. The social media socialist with more than 150,000 followers, he should really redistribute some of those, on Twitter and YouTube combined, regularly uses his platform to rail against the wealthy and powerful, urging fans to be skeptical of their opinions. Just found about James Carville, who spends his time lecturing Democrats about being too far left, lives in an absolutely obscene 4-story mansion, Maza said. In one example from February, blasting the longtime Democrat strategist for posting a photo of Carville's old home to his Twitter account. Dear God, can we stop taking political advice from the ultra wealthy? He moaned. You really have to respect this guy's grift. Huh, I think I respect yours a little more, Mr. Maza. Constantly dressing in normal clothes on TV to feign relatability while living like this. A masterful con artist. Oh, that did not age well. Like any good online socialist, Maza raises money for his internet presence through a Patreon account where, quote, comrades use a word he uses to describe his supporter, can fund him in increments of $2, $5, and $10 a month. But if Maza wants to start eating the rich, he may have to begin with his own family. You really gotta respect the guy's grift. Though his clan, the Millennial Firebrand, is connected to multiple Florida mega mansions, a $7.1 million pad on the Upper West Side, purchased under an LLC, and a yacht by luxury boat maker Donzi. Maza's mother, Vivian, was one of the first employees at Ultimate Software, a Florida-based behemoth that now employs more than 5,000 people. Starting in 1990 as an office manager, she ultimately rose to the group's chief people officer in 2004. Now, that's a good story, to be honest with you. In addition to her day job, Vivian Maza also developed a very close personal relationship with company co-founder Scott Schur, So close, in fact, that an independent assessment of the company in 2016 cited the relationship as a corporate governance concern. The report said the pair is believed to be more than just co-workers and have a familial relationship. The two later became engaged, and the couple have lived together for years, with Schur being a de facto stepfather to Carlos. Public records show Vivian Scott and Carlos and sister Isabel all registered to vote at 5-bedroom, 8-bathroom waterfront home palace in Boca Raton, Florida. The property sold in 2018 for a paltry $10.8 million. Schur's also unloaded a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home in Weston, Florida at $1.8 million in 2015. Vivian currently resides in a pathetic $4.4 million 2-bedroom, 3-bath luxury condo in Fort Lauderdale, where she lists as her primary residence, according to a 2020 report. The same LLC, by the way, purchased a $7,125,000 condo in the Upper West Side of Manhattan in November. Shocking. While serving as the CEO of Ultimate Software, Schur was one of the most handsomely compensated CEOs in the country. In 2015, he took home $38.3 million, CBS reported. It's not clear how much Vivian and Schur actively support Maza's lifestyle, but evidence suggests the family has been happy to pitch in and spread his socialist message. Both Schur and Vivian Maza are listed as, quote, comrades at the end of Carlos's most recent YouTube video. And the younger Maza himself admitted in an interview with Mel magazine that his family were there to financially back him if he needed it. Stunning and brave. Viv and Scott have also pitched in on the rent for one of Carlos's chic East Village pads, where just across Thompson Square Park. Friends tell the Post rent for 1-bedrooms like that costs more than $3,000 a month for a 1-bedroom. Quote, I think a lot of people are unhappy. I'm sure this guy is craving some attention, Carville told the Post. I don't have $1 billion, but whatever I have, my daddy didn't give it to me. Oh! Ha ha! Bazing! I think I inherited like $11,000. Maza did not respond to multiple inquiries from the Post, but in a statement posted to Twitter in advance of the publication, the faucists fessed up to the silver spoons. Quote, my mom and her fiance were wealthy thanks to a software company they started together when I was a kid. As a result, I've gotten to live a life of tremendous privilege, said Maza, acknowledged he had always had a safety net should his career as a YouTube star go south, but insisted nobody's bankrolling his effort and that his mother only donates $10 a month. Ha! Ha! And then, on top of that, Twitter suspended the guy that wrote the article after he shone light on Carlos Maza's riches and hypocrisy.
Does Twitter censor the content of its users? Does it hide what it would consider inflammatory comments, whether they be social or political?
Absolutely not. Twitter has always been about controls. People can follow whoever they want. And it's our job to make sure they see the most important things and the things that will matter to them. The most important thing is that we're empowering dialogue. We're empowering conversation so that people can work out the issues.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Look, I'm not kidding.
You're a fake.
I'm a fake?
Yes.
How'd you like to be dead?
Now, Twitter has suspended Jonathan Levine, a reporter from the New York Post, following his publication of an article on former Vox video editor and leftist firebrand Carlos Maza. In a piece called YouTube Socialist, we already talked about that, as Levine details. He often attacks political figures. Breaking. New York Post, John Levine had been locked out of Twitter after writing the story that outed socialist star Carlos Maza as coming from elite wealth. The story has public real estate photos of Maza's Florida waterfront palace. Would be a shame if I showed that. Let's see. Oh, I already did show that. Here's public photos. Here's some photos with Florida home where Carlos Maza is registered to vote. Wonder if I should make them my thumbnail. Curiously, Maza himself was never suspended for tweeting a similar set of photos about James Carville. Interesting. What a coinky-dink. It's almost as if Twitter doesn't enforce its own rules equally. Another reporter and former contributor of the Young Turks, Jordan Chariton, was suspended for posting misleading information about voting after he quoted Joe Biden after misspeaking. News Twitter has, quote, limited Jordan's account for reporting on Joe Biden's own words. Jordan can't tweet for 12 hours. This is what Twitter is doing. And John himself had just posted an update. Second update. Despite initially calling their decision to lock my account a, quote, error, Twitter locked me out again a few hours later over the same story. I have reluctantly deleted the tweet, and I'm sharing with you some of the timeline here. This is Orwellian. Here's the email. Hi, John. Thanks for reaching out. The enforcement action we took was an error, and the account has now been unlocked. From Catherine. Why would you even try to blur that out? I can read this. Catherine at Twitter. Catherine. Come on, dude. Hi, John. Upon further investigation, these tweets violate our rules, specifically our private information policy, even though these photos, by the way, are available on public real estate websites. The account will remain locked until the tweets are removed. This is also from the same person, Catherine. I urge everyone reading to take their own screenshots. I have no idea how long this info or myself will be allowed to exist here. Mark Dice coming in. So Carlos can call for action against conservatives on Twitter, but a journalist can't point out his multi-million-dollar mommy funds him. Typical. Jack, this is disgraceful. You barely make enough to cover your bills. One day Twitter will be the next MySpace. This is, of course, delicious. This is hilarious. And I sure would really, really hate it if everyone shared. What a fraud. What a fraud. Imagine having your parents have $100 million in the bank and acting like you're just scraping by. Be honest, Carlos. Come out. I don't even like your whole, well, I do have a parachute. I do have a golden parachute. A golden parachute probably wouldn't even describe what he has. He stands to inherit tens of millions of dollars, and certainly, of course, doesn't care. Hey, looks like there's going to be a poopy article about my family in the New York Post soon, so I figured I'd get out in front of it. Talking about my family like this is really uncomfortable, so bear with me. This is the same guy that has no problem posting all sorts of information about other people. Sorry you have to deal with this publicly. I would have preferred to talk about it in the context of a video, also publicly, about class and shame. I don't want the world's slimiest reporter harassing my mom, so I figured out I might as well get it over with. They published my home address too. Unbelievable. They didn't publish your home address. All of that, by the way, is public. Now, if they published your home address, are you saying you live in this multi-million-dollar mansion? I didn't see an address. This says that you live in an apartment across from Tompkins Square, which probably has, I don't know, it's probably thousands of apartments, hundreds of apartments. I don't see a single address here. So are you saying that you were caught lying and then you lied again? I can't believe it. Carlos, I believed in you. And now this is how you repay me. I, for one, am shocked. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.